just close my eyes again. Time to board the dream, leave the train. Try to take away my worries of today and leave tomorrow behind. Oh, I can't wait up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep.
Imagine prisoners that have spent their entire lives chained deep inside a cave. They have been chained so that they cannot see behind themselves, and they are forced to stare endlessly at the cave wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire is burning, and between the prisoners and the fire is a raised walkway. Now imagine that each day, a menagerie of objects crosses the walkway. Animals, and people carrying their wares to market. Their shapes create an intricate shadow play on the wall in front of the prisoners. This is the only world that the prisoners have ever known. The shadows and the echoes of unseen objects. Now, imagine that a prisoner is released. After some time adjusting to the blinding light, the freed prisoner will begin to experience the world outside of the cave for the very first time. And it is like nothing he could have ever imagined. With his new perception of the world, the man will of course want to return to his friends to share his incredible discoveries. But the prisoners cannot recognize their old friend. He appears as all things do. His voice is a distorted echo, and his body is a grotesque shadow. They cannot understand his fantastic stories of the world outside of the cave. To them, it will never exist. This, of course, does not make the world outside of the cave any less real.
Illusion will be created so vast, so large that it escapes their perception. Those who see it will be thought of as insane.
I want to start out with a warning this morning. You may experience cognitive dissonance this morning. I want you to try to hang on. Do not shut me off. Do not tune me out. Listen to me. Give me a chance to explain myself. And then be a Berean. Okay? Don't reject it. Don't accept it. Study it. Find out for yourself. But today I want to propose to you that there's a whole lot we don't even know about the world we live in. And that is sad. Now let me begin by saying we have been lied to our whole life. And I mean about everything. I'm talking about history. I'm talking about whatever. This is a lie. Listen, one of the main lies is about the nature of our earth, okay? Hopefully you'll understand why it has to be as we proceed through here this morning, okay? Again, this is one of the main lies. There is no photos. Nobody has a photo of the earth from space. Now, it seems to me that most people, and I really think it is most people, are compliant. And they go along with whatever the mainstream tells them. And this morning, I want to challenge you to question. If I do nothing else, just question what you have been taught.
No event in history will receive such tremendous television coverage. Thousands of technicians around the world have been working for many, many months to ensure that people at home, in front of their own television screens, will receive the highest quality pictures. They will ensure, in fact, that man's first landing on the moon will be the greatest show on Earth.
Prime Minister, we weren't allowed to take a sound camera into the tracking station for technical reasons. What did you say to the staff in the tracking station here at Honeysuckle Creek?
Well, I asked them what all the little wiggly green lines were and what the various noises coming out of bits and pieces of the equipment were, and got answers which I wouldn't pretend thoroughly to understand. I think perhaps the best way of saying what I felt when I was in there was that I was blinded by science.
Overview effect. The idea is that if we pull back far enough from the Earth, we can see the entirety of our planet as a beautiful and fragile home, and be inspired to protect it. Until 1972, that image of a fully illuminated Earth could only be imagined. But then, astronauts aboard Apollo 17 captured it on film, a photograph that's become known as the Blue Marble. But could a photograph really change the fate of our planet? The Blue Marble is one of the world's best-known images, but the story of how it was taken and what it did and did not achieve might surprise you. In the 1960s, Americans began to wake up to the damage being done to the planet. Air and water pollution, sprawling development, devastating oil spills, and the threat of extinction. But what would inspire people to take action? One idea came from within San Francisco's counterculture movement, from a leading thinker named Stewart Brand.
Stewart Brand was one of the most important environmentalists of that period. In 1966, February, he dropped 100 micrograms of LSD on his tongue, went up to his rooftop in North Beach in San Francisco to take in the view. And he claimed he could see the curvature of the Earth.
Brand spent the rest of that acid trip trying to figure out how he could communicate this big idea to the world. His conclusion? We needed a photograph of the full Earth.
Next day goes to a local print shop and prints up hundreds of buttons with a really simple question. Why haven't we seen a photograph of the whole Earth yet? And then he sends them to politicians in DC, politicians in the Soviet Union, scientists at NASA. And all of a sudden, within 3 months, the story goes that engineers and scientists at NASA had his buttons on their lapel pins. So then after that, NASA consciously changes the trajectory of Apollo 17 so that the mission can capture that image.
So do you know how true that story is?
Well, they were definitely wearing the lapel pins, and they definitely consciously changed the trajectory of Apollo 17 to capture that image. So whether it goes directly back to Brand or not is tough to say, but it seems like lines are pretty straightforward.
So to get the image of Earth as a whole takes being far enough away that its single lens could capture the entire disk. So it really wasn't until the advent of the Saturn V rocket, the first rocket that could actually move people away from the Earth, to get that perspective on the way to the moon.
So what would it have been like to try and take a photo from inside something like this? It's not a tripod setup. It's not an ideal setup for taking a picture.
Well, it's constantly moving through space at about 24,000 miles per hour towards the moon. If you want to capture a photo of the Earth, your windows have to be pointed in the right direction. And so when the vehicle was in a particular position, it could point the camera out, observe, take photographs, and make that moment happen.
To get a spacecraft into position for astronauts to take the full Earth image that Brand envisioned meant positioning the command module precisely between the Earth and the Sun. NASA finally scheduled that trajectory in 1972. On December 7th, Apollo 17 blasted off.
Started. We have ignition. 2, 1, 0. We have a liftoff.
5 hours into the mission, the spacecraft's journey had taken it almost 20,000 miles from the Earth. Looking out the tiny capsule window, the astronauts saw something remarkable.
I'll tell you, if there ever was a fragile appearing piece of blue in space, it's the Earth right now.
They picked up their camera, a 70mm Hasselblad like this one, and started shooting. Among the images they captured was the one that Brand had dreamed about, a fully illuminated view of our planet. With no orientation in space, the original photograph was what we would consider upside down. It would need to be rotated and cropped to turn it into the image we know today. That happened as soon as Apollo 17 returned to Earth on December 19th.
Blue marble phenomenon affecting people all over the world, in every country, in every part of the world. Blue marble refers to the iconic image of the Earth in the first photograph of the whole complete Earth, cloudless, taken in the Apollo mission in 1972.
4 days later, the Earth image was released to the press and went viral.
It got published all over the world. In fact, the Boston Globe made it an entire front cover of their Christmas issue. In the long term, this thing has gone into children's books and science textbooks and all kinds of places. So that single image really becomes an icon for what we conceive of as the Earth. And that's something that's set in our minds, I think, somewhat permanently.
The taking of the blue marble was an incredible technical feat.
Have you seen this image? Chances are the answer is yes. It's the iconic blue marble image. The first photo of the whole Earth was taken on December 7th, 1972 by the American crew of the Apollo 17 mission.
It was precisely as Hollywood had depicted.
But the real circus story is more than laughter. It's an exciting story, a human story. A story that was a tremendous... We made the greatest show on Earth. Is because the world needs laughter today. That kind of laughter.
One of NASA's most requested space photos. This view of Earth, known as the Blue Marble, was taken in 1972 from about 18,000 miles away as Apollo 17 was traveling to the moon. So I run across this. In 2019 National Geographic. This is where they show us that we live. For many years I looked at this here and just saw the Blue Marble. I saw what they told me to see. Then you start questioning things. You start looking into all the images you have. You find out about Ron Simmons. Then you try to find something that's not Ron Simmons. And it brings you back to this picture here. And it's really crazy. Because now I see this as a piece of art. How do I do this? I guess I could try to explain to you 5 little Easter eggs. Really much deeper than that. But these 5 seem to jump out. Start with what I'll call the magician. Mickey and Fantasia. But here's his head. Got 2 arms. He even got a bit of magic running in between. And the body. That's pretty interesting. A little fuzzy, I guess. But is what it is, I guess. And I've kept looking. Just a curious thing, looking around this thing. Then I run across this little guy right here. There's a mouth. Here's a nose. An eyeball. 2 ears. Even got the shape of the head. Looks like a rabbit to me. Actually looks like that scared rabbit running across the alley. So you pull back and you're looking at this thing. You've done seen these 2 things. And this guy jumps out at you. Come on, Karen. Right there. Hand, an arm. This is a top coat. Then you see, right in there, face with a mustache. Should it be that man Hitler? I don't know. That's pretty extreme. You know, they put Pluto in Pluto, right? Then you notice an eyeball here. Even though, shut eye here, maybe. Now you have a nose, a mouth, a chin, even got hair. Does that look like Huey? A wild man? A Bigfoot? And then you sit back here. Now you got 3, 4. And then this guy pops out at you right here. Starts with his mouth. Going down to his chin. Is that an ear? And that's where his eye would be. Nose looks like he's wearing a headpiece. He even got a horned head. Imagine that. Just want you to take a minute here with me. And I'm going to move around this thing a little bit. So you can see the things I see. See if any of them jump out at you. This is really an interesting picture. I think anyway. Just the more you delve into it. And where it is. I'm telling you. That a guy there. Looked like King Kong or something. Or just Esau and Nimrod. With some extras added in just because they could. I don't know.
I believe that what
this country set out to do was something that was going to be done sooner or later, whether we set a specific goal or not. I believe that from the early space flights we demonstrated a potential to carry out this type of a mission, and again it was a question of time until this would be accomplished.
So look me in the eyes, tell me what you see. Perfect paradise, tearing at the seams. I wish I could escape, I don't wanna fake it. Wish I could erase it, make you hard believe, but I'm a bad liar.
Everybody looking at me?
The blue marble shot, showing the Earth without borders, without boundaries, all of humanity home on that one planet, the blue marble.
Illusion will be created so vast, so large that it escapes their perception. Those who see it will be thought of as insane.
Blue marble phenomenon, affecting people all over the world, in every country, in every part of the world.
Tell these lies when they go to school, but I will go back to the ball. Never want us tell these lies when they go to school, but I will go back to the ball. Never want us tell these lies when they go to school, but I will go back to the ball. Tell these lies when they go to school, but I will go back to the ball. Never want us tell these lies when they go to school, but I will go back to the ball. Never want us tell these lies when they go to school, but I will go back to the ball.
Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Mann, Nachher! Ich will am Tournament spielen! Los! Ich sag's nicht noch einmal! Los! Was ist das denn? Oh mein Gott, was ist geschehen? Ich will spielen! Schnelle Start! Jetzt geht's los! 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 Es lädt! Es lädt! Ich will nicht, dass es lädt!